Third trip to Lowe's today. Welcome back, guys. It's Sunday. We just got back late last night, about 11 o'clock, from Thanksgiving with family in Phoenix. Glad to be home as usual. And as usual, sick as a dog getting back. The desert does not agree with me. So remember back a ways I said I'm not an electrician. I can do anything. But it might mean I'm gonna screw it up a few times before I get it right. Three trips back to Lowe's to find the right breaker. By the way, thank you to a couple of you that told me what kind of breaker this was in here. It wasn't a GFI, it was, I can't even remember the name of it now. Something I'd never heard of. It's a recent code just for bedrooms for some reason. And I looked it up, and the basic difference was a GFI protects against short circuits, like dropping a hairdryer in a tub. And this type protects against sparks. I guess a fire hazard kind of thing. I don't know why it's specific to bedrooms, but my studio room is obviously not a bedroom, so that's out. So it was the breaker. Just put it in and tested it, show you that, and it worked. And I didn't upsize. I looked at the wires, and half of that is rated for 15 and the other side's rated for 20, and there is a gauge difference in the wires, so I didn't want to put a 20 in there. But I knew a 15 was going to be fine because my old studio in the old house was on a 15 circuit. That house was sold, I had 10 and 15s, and this house has 15 and 20s. And it worked fine on that 15 old circuit, so no worries there. I just replaced it with a normal 15. Now, me as a non-professional assumed there'd be, one, two, maybe three different kinds of breakers out there. Oh no, there's about a dozen between different shapes, sizes. And I'm not talking single and dual pole. That's an obvious kind of difference. I'm talking the widths of them. I mean, okay, the slim lines, that was obvious. I knew I wasn't getting one of those. But there's like three different kinds of normal sized breakers that want to fit in this hole. Anyway, I screwed up the type once. It was the right overall dimensions, but the first one I got had like slots or something on the sides. And these are perfectly smooth, so it wouldn't slide in the slot. All right, took that back. Then the second one I got, it was the right size. It was nice and smooth side, and it fit in fine. Wouldn't snap in because the tongs that go on the bus bar were in the wrong orientation. Didn't know there were two different at least kinds of that. So third try is a charm. Took pictures of the old one this time, matched it, got the right one, good to go. And fixed the problem. No, I haven't fixed the ABS traction control lights. It's just a bad wheel sensor. Problem is, you basically have to swap the sensors to test the sensors. You have to take the wheels off, take half of the wheel wells off to get to the plug to put in a multimeter and test the sensors. So I gotta look up the sensors. I believe they're like $30, and if so, I'm just gonna order two of them and replace both the fronts. If one's gone, the other's probably not too far behind. It's in the same conditions. If they're prohibitively expensive, then I'll go through and test and see which one. You're just basically testing for resistance. You unplug it. There's a plug at the top of the wheel well behind the plastic, and that's where it connects. And it just screws down into the wheel hub. The wheel hub has a ring like a gear, and the sensor is just looking for the gaps like a CD player. That's basically all it does. So when it sees a tooth, it has a certain resistance value. When it doesn't see a tooth, it has something else. But when the sensor goes bad, you're not going to get any reading. So that's all you have to do. But like I said, going through all that labor to get to the plug, you're right there. You're 30 seconds away from just swapping the sensor. So I don't want to go through all that for nothing. So that's what's going on with that. I trimmed the last of my big palms. Filled up the garbage can again. I got the last one that was rubbing on the roof way up there. So that's all tidied up, and helped the next door neighbor do his just now. He had a whole bunch up at that top one that was rubbing his roof and a whole bunch of dead ones. So we broke out my big 22-foot ladder, and he's got a nice electric pole saw. Cleaned that up. That's in there. Hi, David. And did a full edging, mowing and blowing. Lawn looks great. Taking off those tons of branches really did make a difference with the acorns. There's a lot less falling now. There's still a bunch of residue in the street, but that's not my responsibility to clean up. So I just did all the sidewalks and stuff. So now I'm just gonna button this all back up. This is the old breaker. Here's the second wrong size I got. See, this has like a hook on the bottom. And I needed one that had this, but turned 90 degrees here. Snap in right there. This, let me see if the name's on here. It's bugging me, I can't remember it. It's like God, can't believe it doesn't say it. No, don't see it anywhere here, but yeah, anyway, that's the type of connector mine take. And the complaint with these, and I think it wasn't my lights or anything that changed, and I don't think even this was getting tired. They are extremely sensitive, and people say that power strips easily trip these. And all 4 of my studio lights are on a power strip, so the power strip itself may just be noisy and just started tripping it. I don't know why it started doing it all of a sudden, because nothing changed, but there definitely was the possibility there. So I'll put this back together in a second. Got all 4 lights on, plugged directly back into the wall through the power strip, and test fire. Yay, good to go. So yeah, I'm on double Sudafed right now just to function. I want to drive a nail underneath my eye right now just to relieve the pressure. My head feels like the left side is gonna explode. Can't hear out of my left ear. Completely plugged up sinuses. There's a ringing going on. Oh, I hope this clears up tomorrow. Got a good sleep last night. So nice having humidity, the single digit, really under 5% humidity out there. And 40-degree temps a night. We have to sleep with the window open because the house is like 80. It just kills me, just absolutely kills me. And I may have caught what the wife had before we left because she had some of this going on. But this happens to me every year, and it's just the desert. But this is probably the last year we go out there because my parents want to build a house right here by us, which would be awesome. So here is the other adventure that I spent some time on today. These rags near the water heater would probably give you a clue. Yeah, so I was watching YouTube last week, and it was on home maintenance, and it occurred to me, they were talking about water filters, and I remember I had a nice water filter on my old hot water tank, because I'd have to flush it like every 6 months, and just gobs of sand and grit and all kinds of crap would come out of it. And my previous water tank died because of sediment right after we moved in. So I'm thinking to myself, of all the other stuff that I had to do with this house due to lack of maintenance, this guy probably never touched this. Oh, and I was right. Oh my God. Okay, so number 1, bunch of crap came out as expected. And luckily there's a pretty good valve on here as far as flow rate. The old one that I had to deal with, it had, like a plastic valve thing, and it had a big grate. You couldn't get anything big out of it. You basically have to take it off the tank and put on a big flow valve to do anything. But this one actually let some good water through, and a lot of crap came out. So I put the hose on, drug it out to the road, took about a half an hour, drained it, flushed it a few times, stirred the stuff up, came out. Okay, great. Went to turn the valve back off. Nope. I don't think that shut off, or that drain valve had been touched since this thing was installed. The rubber gasket on the internal valve mechanism was so deformed and flattened and non-pliable, it wouldn't shut off. It was just streaming out. I got it so tight, I was breaking the brass off with my screwdriver, and it wouldn't seal. So I took it apart to find that the rubber gasket was basically shot, and went looking for a new valve. Well, I wanted to just replace the guts because it comes off real easily. You just screw this off, screw this out, and the whole mechanism comes out. Super easy. You could put a new one in or just replace the rubber. No, you can't find those anywhere. I don't know if it's old or it's just non-standard or it only comes on the unit from the factory, but whatever. I could replace the whole thing, but I'd have to disassemble basically half the tank to get to it inside to spin the whole thing off. Not worth it. It's not a high pressure leak. I took it apart, I cleaned it as best I could. I got it down to just a very slow drip. You know, like it wanted to drip 5-6 times a minute. So no pressure. Put a gasketed garden cap on it. Good to go. Calling it a day. But it's nice and clean now. Working. Oh, and the other thing was he had never exercised this pressure valve. I'm not even confident that it's functioning 100% correctly, but again, I do not want to take this whole thing apart just to replace it. It would not move when I first went to do it. It was just completely locked, wouldn't spin, wouldn't flex, nothing. It was completely frozen like that. I had to very gently move it around, start to break it free to get it to wiggle and move, and then it finally went psst. And then I could actuate it a little bit this way, and finally enough where it would actually plunge and work. So it does work. It's completely shut off. It's got a lot of flex in it, but it is completely shut off. I've been monitoring the other end, which is down in there. Nothing's dripping out, so it's fine there. And I can flip it now 100% horizontal, and it does work as a relief valve, and I was using that to drain it, so that's working. And look, if you're a homeowner, if you're a renter, whatever, this is something very important. This is your, I'm not gonna blow up my water tank relief valve. You have to make sure it works. If this tank ever gets too hot and produces too much pressure, it will explode at a certain point. It will just blow up. This is here to prevent that from happening. At a certain PSI, it opens and it releases water and drains the pressure. So it's very important. It says right on it, it'll always have a warning sticker. Once a year, pull this sucker, let it flow. Make sure it's loose, because all the sediment and the stuff in the water collects on the mechanism and freezes it up. And that's exactly what had happened there. And nobody had touched this thing in I don't know how many years. But I'm just glad it's functioning now, and I didn't have to replace it, because that would have been a major pain in the ass. Didn't really at all feel like doing that. I didn't feel like doing any of this today. I just wanted a simple drain job and to relax. I feel like crap. So that's it for today. Not much excitement, but I'm done for the day. I can't even taste anything. I'm kind of hungry, but nothing even seems good. I'm trying to think of something that I want to eat, and absolutely nothing's come to mind. Hopefully I feel better tomorrow. Anyway, hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. Tomorrow is Cyber Monday. Let me know if you find any good deals. Let me know if there's something. Oh, all right, real quick update. I did score deals on all 3 items that I wanted during last week. Got the deal on the TV. It's kind of a last minute thing, and snagged it just in time. It went out of stock very quickly, saved $300 off of it. So I think that's pretty good. I don't think I'm gonna do any better than that for at least the next year cycle. I don't think Christmas would do any better than that. So I got the 75-inch Vizio P series. I got it for $16.74 at Costco. So that was pretty good. I got 4 deals. I got a deal on a Costco membership for $25 off your first big purchase. So I used that on the TV, and a $20 gift card towards anything, and no tax on the membership. So I got all that for $60. We are switching from Sam's Club to Costco. Number 1, because they're a lot closer to us here. And number 2, because Sam's Club, you could screw yourself. They canceled all of our business memberships. The Sam's Club business membership was a great deal. It was the same price as regular, $45, but it got you all the perks except for the cashback discount of the upper tier. So we got, which was most important to me, the early shopping hours, getting in a couple hours before the freaking masses and the snowbirds and everyone clogging up. When you needed car work done, bam, you got there at 7. You were first in, man. I was out before the main doors opened for everybody in the morning. That was great. Well, they canceled. They're trying to be Amazon now. So You don't get free shipping now, even with the regular membership. You have to upgrade. I think they want 125, 130 for, I can't even remember what I think they still call it the premier or premium upper tier. So it gets you free shipping on stuff. They want you to order online. That's what they're really pushing for. And that's it. So it doesn't make any financial sense. You have to run the numbers if you do that. The biggest perk with those upper tiers is the cash back. But with Sam's, it works out to you have to spend $350 or more a month just to break even on the extended cost. And we don't spend anywhere near that. You know, maybe once in a blue moon, we'll make a big purchase. Like at our old house, we purchased a big sectional couch. That was like $1,100. You know, once every few years we do something like that. But our normal purchases, toilet paper, paper towel, you know, some food, deodorant, you know, this is the bulk stuff. No, we're, I don't know, 100, 150 a month, something like that. So it just doesn't work out for us. But anyway, switching over to Costco, I'll have both memberships for the next few months. And they're pretty much the same thing. But you get the perks at Costco that, except for the cash back, you have to pay extra for now at Sam's. So buy Sam's, not worth it anymore. But what was I talking about? Oh, the TV, yeah. Got that at Costco. And I think I told you guys, about the deal I got on the receiver. I had to, because I'm going to 4K, I had to upgrade the receiver because even though my old receiver was quote unquote 4K ready, back in the day when they made that, I don't know, I think it's about a 5-year-old model, they didn't know that the HDMI spec was going to change in the next couple of years. So yes, it technically has a 4K spec, but it's not HDMI 2 compatible, so it can't pass copyright material. So it's good for video games, that's about it. So I had to get the new receiver, but scored a screaming deal on that, over $300 off of that too, because it was basically a dented box sale. The unit was untouched. Just the outer cardboard shipping container was damaged and some styrofoam on the inside. It absorbed everything. Brand new. Oh, love it. And I upgraded the series, so I got more features, more power, et cetera, et cetera. Sounds absolutely wonderful. I also had to get a new Apple TV. I had the 4th generation, which is good for everything except 4K. But scored, again, a refurbished, I was gonna say open box, but a refurbished deal on the Apple TV. I got the 64 gig version for $50 less than a new 32. I don't care if it has a scratch. I don't care if it was used. There are no moving parts. I'm just gonna plug it in, shove it in my cabinet. So yeah, thank you for saving me 70 some bucks off the Apple TV 4K. Yay. All right, that's it. See you guys next time.